Leonardo watches as a 19-year-old boy takes pictures of his wheelchair-bound sister. As they stand in front of them, a god appears and asks them to choose one of them as a sacrifice. Leonardo couldn't speak or move due to his cowardly nature. His little sister, however, sacrificed herself for the man who loved her the most and got the rarest and most powerful artifact on Earth, the all-seeing eyes of the gods, by protecting him. In New York City, a gateway opened 3 years ago. It was through this gate that the otherworldly creatures known as Beyondians invaded. In a single night, New York City was destroyed and rebuilt as Hell Salem. Casters, people with psychic abilities, raised a barrier to stop the Great Collapse. Humans and Beyondians have finally coexisted for 3 years, but at the cost of pure violence, chaos, and high crime rates. After leaving his sister, Leonardo moved to Hell Salem's lot to change his cowardly nature and to seek a cure for his sister, who sacrificed her vision to God. He is still not accustomed to living in this bizarre city after moving here. During a visit to his regular cafe, a supersonic monkey steals his camera containing his sister's pictures. When he chases the monkey, he meets Zap Renfro, a superhuman member of a secret organization named Libra. In order to discover what lies beyond, Leonardo must find Libra. Then he allows Zap to mistake him for Johnny Landis, a newly recruited member he was looking for, and is taken to Libra's office. Klaus, the leader of Libra, greets him upon arrival. Shane Almaragi reports that Johnny Landis is deaf and reveals Leonardo's lies. In the middle of his explanation, Leonardo is interrupted by the masked phantom named King of the Depravity Femt, who appears on TV to tell them that he has unleashed a demon searching for his other self. A gate will open every few minutes, and the humans must find the gate before the demon does, otherwise they will meet true chaos. Suddenly, a gate opens next to Leonardo, and the demon cuts the building in half. Zap suspects that Leonardo is the Fem's agent, but Shane thinks that the monkey is the gate and chases after it. Leonardo explains tearfully how he obtained the eyes of God, which allow him to see anything, even the past and the future. In exchange for finding the truth to save his sister, Klaus welcomes him to Libra so that he can help them. A police force arrives and accuses them of causing destruction on false charges. Klaus attacks them with his power. When Leonardo and Zap chase the monkey, the other half of the demon appears and attacks them. Using his ability, Zap transforms the blood into a blade and strikes the demon. Leonardo continues to chase the monkey but doesn't kill it. When he uses his power, he notices the real gate. It's the flea. He kills the flea to destroy the gate and ruin Fem's plan. Leonardo faces difficulties in his pizza delivery job after joining Libra. His life is a living hell because Zap stalks him and steals his pizza. He heads back and gives Zap a ride. Leonardo spots a cleaning van where Beyondians have used an illusion to hide their crime of smuggling human bodies as they travel. Leonardo notices the creature's gaze and averts his gaze. When Zap reaches Libra's office, he reports the matter. Suddenly, a creature attacks Zap and then kidnaps Leonardo. As he is put in their truck, he notices people preserved in vacuum packs to be eaten as food. As they realize his power, they want to know why he can see their illusions. Instead of relying on others to save him, Leonardo escapes himself. Using his power, he controls the vision of all creatures, forcing them to stop the truck. Meanwhile, the Libra team tracks Leonardo using Zap's blood and saves everyone. Later, Leonardo lies in bed with bandages covering his face. His power turns out to be a double-edged sword. The more he uses it, the more he hurts himself. If he uses too much, he may even die. Several days later, he takes pictures of the hospital's garden. In the cemetery, he meets a girl named White who claims to be a ghost. After taking a picture of White, Leonardo wonders if she really is a ghost. On the train one day, Leonardo meets a strange boy named Black. While using his power, Leonardo notices his crimson aura wings. Leonardo describes the strange aura of the strange boy he met on the train at the party. Everyone gathers around him, and he reveals that he met a blood-breed vampire race who hide in the shadows because of their high crime rate. It is hard for them to find any information about vampires. No one can tell the difference between them and normal humans, but Leonardo's god eyes can, so they now have hope of restoring justice. They call Blitz Abrams, a vampire specialist and Klaus mentor. A blood-breed severed hand holds a piece of paper in his briefcase. In order to find out the names of the 13 elders, a group of blood breeders with super strength and fast regenerative abilities, Abrams wants Leonardo to use his powers. The members can be found and hunted down if Leonardo's power works. Despite his best efforts, Leonardo loses control of his powers and injures himself. He is then taken to Igarashiad Central, which is located directly over the hole where the elders are supposed to be hiding. Once again, Leonardo's eyes crack as he searches for the elders in the hole. Then he reveals that their suspicion is wrong. There are no 13 elders, and that hole is filled with vampires. Leonardo visits White in her hospital room the next day. Leonardo is left bewildered and confused after she gives him the cold shoulder. Leonardo complains to Zap about her behavior while riding a scooter together to a meeting. A monster truck chases them on their way. They try their best to dodge the truck, eating every vehicle on the road. Finally, Leonardo flies from the scooter and hangs from the truck's side. The monster truck driver, Balagura, takes him inside. To create her ideal handsome man, she combined her boyfriend, Deldro Brody, a Beyondian, and her dog Hummer, a Libra member. With a mixture of both looks and personalities from both of them, he is pushed to talk about his love life by her. Despite multiple denials, he finally mentions White, whom he recently met. While she encourages him to confess to her, he dismisses it as not serious. Sonic Monkey sneaks a communication device into the truck later. Steve, a Libra member, informs Leonardo that the Libra team is ready to rescue him. Changing the truck's location to an isolated area will result in fewer casualties. The dog, Hummer, uses his power to save Leonardo by destroying the truck with a punch. Leonardo goes to the hospital for a checkup due to his injuries. He finally musters up the courage to invite White to watch a movie with him, which makes her happy. They sneak from the hospital and watch a comedy movie together, but White feels emotional after watching family bonds in the movie. Leonardo tells her that the movie also moved him because it reminds him of how pathetic he is and how much trouble he causes to his sister. But White hugs him and tells him that he's not pathetic. He visits White later, and she introduces him to her brother Black. Having met him on the train before, Leonardo believes that he is the same Crimson Aura boy. However, Black doesn't seem to remember their train encounter. In the afternoon, he meets Black for lunch. During Leonardo's interview with him, he asks about White's condition and why she has been in the hospital for 3 years. Black answers that White has a heart condition. Leonardo relates to him and shares about his sister. When Black attempts to stop Leonardo's coffee from spilling over, he reveals his psychic abilities. He fails because he cannot handle his power properly. The next day, he goes to the office and notices that Zap is not around to attack Klaus, which she usually does to defeat him. Zap calls Leonardo and asks Klaus for help since he was kidnapped and will be killed soon. As Leonardo and Klaus reach an underground fighting arena, Klaus must fight multiple opponents to free Zap. The owner challenges him after he defeats most of them. A blood breed is revealed inside the owner's body who enjoys fighting strong opponents by punching his face. Leonardo discovers that these fights were set up by a Zap as a way to repay a debt by entertaining his audience. He threatens Zap to tell Klaus about his setup. He refuses to listen to him and tries to take advantage of his last chance to defeat Klaus. He is attacked from behind by Zap. However, Klaus still manages to beat him in the end. Later, Leonardo gives Black a ride on the way. The Halloween decorations around the area remind Leonardo of how White introduced herself to him as a ghost. Black is shocked when he hears it. Leonardo is assured, however, that she is an ordinary girl who just likes to say weird things. Several days later, the live routine receives intelligence that a blood gate from India has opened, allowing Bloodbreed into Hell Salem. All of them decide to defeat him. Zap's Master Raju also joins them and turns one half of the Bloodbreed into an egg. Despite Leonardo's best efforts, he could not seal it because the other half was still roaming. Using Master Raju's other discipline, Zed, they defeat the other half of the Bloodbreed. Having read its name, Leonardo seals it successfully. Raju gets impressed by his both disciplines Zed and Zap and leaves Zap with Libra's team. In their break time, Leonardo, Zap, and Zed decide to eat outside. Vivian's Cafe is a regular place for Leonardo that Zap recommends. They finally find a peaceful place to eat their food, which makes Leonardo cry. Unfortunately, the restaurant gets destroyed, and they end up helping Klaus and Steven beat the 1,000 Regioka brothers. Following the fight, Leonardo and White go to the chapel, where White asks Leonardo to give her his Eyes of God. Black sacrificed himself in the past to save his sister, and in return got possessed by King of the Despair. To get her brother back, she must get Leonardo's eyes. In order to prevent Leonardo from moving, the King of Despair uses psychic power. After apologizing to Leonardo, White puts a device on his eyes, which causes him to faint. Leonardo is then taken to an isolated location by the King of Despair. By destroying a barrier on Hellsalem's lot, he uses Leonardo's powers to start the second collapse. It is revealed that the barrier isn't fully destroyed, so casters are repairing it, and the Libra team is assigned to find the final piece of the barrier, which is inside White. Meanwhile, the Libra team is searching for the final piece of the barrier inside White. Leonardo manages to escape the isolated area and screams in shock after witnessing the chaos and destruction Hellsalem's lot is facing. Sonic Monkey finds him and gives him a recorded message from White. She asks someone to save Leonardo in that message. He is motivated by this message to stop the King of Despair. Using his power, Leonardo locates him in the tower. Leonardo meets Abrams on the way, who tells him the truth about White. She's not human, she's just a piece of the barrier, but he already knows. With their abilities, Libra members help him clear his path and reach the tower quickly. A few minutes before leaving, Zed tells Leonardo that he admires his courage for saving his friend. Even though Leonardo's eyes crack, he continues to move forward. At the tower where King of the Despair and Klaus were fighting, he reaches the King of the Despair. As he uses his power, he sees Black pleading with the King of Despair not to kill him. He then loudly yells at White, in order for her soul to know how her brother is fighting. Leonardo then headbutts the King of the Despair and shares his vision with him, allowing Black to see White. Black is reawakened after seeing his sister. Using Leonardo's assistance, Black reestablishes the barrier and prevents the second collapse. However, White disappears as a result. While Klaus congratulates Leonardo for saving everyone, he cries over the loss of White. After letting go of his past guilt, he writes a letter to his sister in which he promises to tell her about the people who gave him hope. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the post notifications so that you always get notified whenever we post a new video. We'll see you guys in the next one.